epic movie tells the story of 4 orphans embarking on an epic quest, traveling worlds, uncovering secrets, and of course, parodying iconic films from the past.
That sounds good.
The adventure begins with Lucy, the adoptive daughter of an art curator, who finds her father in agony after being attacked by an albino numerary. Is that Kevin Hart? Who practices self-flagellation. He doesn't seem to mind it too much though. As she uncovers her dying father's cryptic messages, Lucy somehow finds the answer in a Wonka chocolate bar containing the ever-famous Wonka factory invitation, a golden ticket.
I want one.
The numerary desperately chases Lucy but fails to catch her after she trips from a broken heel. Following the disastrous chase, we meet the second orphan, Edward, who lives in a Mexican monastery and is given terrible food, which happens to be the complete opposite of Mexican food.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
After failing to accomplish his dream of becoming a professional wrestler, he gets taunted by what seems to be Nacho Libre, obviously the greatest wrestler of our time, and is kicked out, quite literally, of the monastery. As he gets beaten up, his eyes briefly meet a lost golden ticket. Like any logical person would, he grabs it for himself and gets thrown out of a window. Don't you just hate when that happens? We meet the third orphan, Susan, as she travels on a plane. Sounds relaxing, right?
This is gonna be a heavenly day.
Ideally, you'd be right, but unfortunately there's some mother-b***ing snakes on the mother-b***ing plane.
Enough is enough! I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane.
Though Susan is scared for a moment, she appears to be more annoyed at the guy who has had enough of the mother-bleeping snakes on the mother-bleeping plane.
Why do you keep saying that?
Fake Samuel L. takes matters into his own hands and decides to save Susan from the snakes. How? By throwing her out of the plane's emergency exit, of course. How else? She makes it out okay though. A random fake Paris Hilton cushioned her drop. While lying on the ground, she spots another golden ticket, excitedly grabbing it as she ignores the probably dead fake Paris. Cold-blooded.
Even to a guy like me, that's cold.
We encounter Peter, the fourth and final orphan, who, unlike his siblings, is a mutant. Can you guess who we meet next? Wolverine and his X-Men buddies! Duh! Only they are not too nice to Peter, whose superpower is just growing chicken wings and cowering away.
This is the worst!
Peter attempts to shoot his shot with Mystique, but is not so nicely shut down and bullied by his peers, including Volvi.
You're a fake and a phony, and I wish I'd never laid eyes on you!
Rejected, he walks away from his dream girl and bullies, only to be continuously humiliated by Magneto. Poor chicken boy. Thing. Of course, the series of unfortunate events can lead to one thing and one thing only: the golden ticket.
Groovy, baby.
Of course, the unlucky 4 finally cross paths as they head to the Wonka factory, greeted by Willy Wonka himself, not Johnny Depp. The foursome excitedly explore the factory, which is filled with Oompa Loompas, sewers who look like chocolate.
Chocolate!
That's actually the sewer line.
And a wicked host who wants to mutilate his guests.
It's a trap!
That's right, Willy Wonka wants to use his guests' body parts in order to give his chocolate its iconic flavor, human flesh. This is eerily similar to the movie. He proceeds to kidnap and torture his guests as each of them meets a fate worse than death. Again, eerily similar to the movie. Somehow the quartet seems to make it out okay, escaping the wicked and slightly cannibalistic Willy Wonka, without a single scar or wound to show for. Badass.
Oh my goodness! That's the most badass thing I've ever heard.
The fearsome foursome hides inside one of the factory's room as they hear the wicked Wonka approach. Rightfully so, the group panics and once again hide from the maniac. Lucy's hiding spot, a wardrobe in a different room, turns out to lead to a whole different world than the one we know. That's right, Narnia, with a silent G for copyright reasons, apparently.
A silent G as a gnome.
As she arrives to Narnia, Lucy meets a faun named Mr. Tumnus, who proudly showcases his father's relationship with his mom, a goat.
These are my folks.
Oh.
An everyday relationship, huh? After strangely asking Lucy if she is a child of Eve, Tumnus invites her to his man cave, or man-goat cave, and gives her a tour of his place, MTV Crib style.
Welcome to my fawn crib.
Just as the two begin to form a friendship, Tumnus suddenly kicks Lucy out and gives her a camera-like device that will explain everything.
Take this. It will explain everything.
As instructed, Lucy uses the gadget and finds a recording of Tumnus where he warns Lucy of the dangerous evil white bitch that rules Narnia. He explains that the Queen wishes to eradicate humans and Lucy is on her hit list. In fact, Tumnus reveals he had only invited Lucy to deliver her to the evil Queen, but decided not to as she is a true friend.
You're a goddamn traitor, sir.
Oh, and also, the evil white bitch has a bomb that will destroy everything and everyone. Cool.
Well, that's just great.
Some moments later, Edward also enters Narnia and encounters none other than the white bitch of Narnia herself and her servant. Well, that doesn't sound great.
Oh, I have a bad feeling about this.
Upon noticing Edward's human features, the Queen inquires him about his family and their whereabouts, as the servant whispers something about a prophecy. We don't get to hear much more from the servant. She threw him away after being a blabbermouth. The white bitch promises Edward she would make him her king if she tells her about his fellow humans' whereabouts. Enchanted by the woman's physique and the desire to be a king, he agrees.
But first, I must meet the others.
Later, Lucy and Edward get together and meet the rest of the orphans, Peter and Susan, who are off clowning around in Narnia. She hysterically warns them about the danger of the evil queen, but they dismiss her.
Why are you the way that you are?
To prove a point, Lucy decides to bring Edward, Peter and Susan to Tumnus' place so he can reaffirm Lucy's claim. Upon arrival, the foursome notices that the place has been torn to pieces and Tumnus is nowhere to be found. Instead of Tumnus, a beaver named Harry greets the group.
It's a talking beaver! Holy
He tells them that Mr. Tumnus has been arrested for providing shelter to Lucy. He encourages the siblings to meet Aslo, Narnia's true king, the one who can truly defeat the queen and restore peace to the realm of Narnia. For some reason, the party finds their birth certificates in Tumnus' place, where they finally discover they are brothers, and the one responsible for their parents' untimely death was the white bitch.
You didn't see that coming?
Upon learning this information, Edward decides to head to the queen's castle and confront her. Again, charmed by her physique after the White Queen flashes him, he discloses his family's location in Narnia. She imprisons poor gullible Edward and leaves him to rot.
You are a mean girl! You're a bitch!
All the while, albino Kevin Hart returns and is sent to kill the siblings as per request, an appointment of the Queen. Following this failed attempt at a confrontation, the remaining brothers and sisters encounter Tumnus once again. He reveals that the Queen has a bomb that is set to detonate in 24 hours, and the only way to stop her is by meeting Aslo and fighting the White Queen along with him.
Not a great plan.
Unfortunately, albino Kevin Hart caught up the group faster than anticipated. Mr. Tumnus becomes the ultimate hero as he sacrifices himself for the lot of humans he intended to betray.
If you want them, you have to go through me first.
The trio doesn't grieve for too long and continue with their mission, heading for training in order to fight the Queen and save humanity.
Now that's more like it, Mr. Wayne.
Somehow, they manage to land in Hogwarts, where they meet the stars of the Harry Potter universe. A rather unconventional version of the cast, that is.
Welcome! My name is Harry Potter.
The wizards proceed to train the group, but they don't get to make much of a difference. Something is better than nothing, though. While this is going on, the Queen finally has her lethal weapon done and ready to go. However, albino Kevin Hart quickly bursts her bubble when he tells her that the kids have escaped.
Take that, space toy!
Edward, on the other hand, now has Jack Sparrow, Swallows, as his cell companion, and he also hates the evil white bitch.
Captain Morgan! No! Captain Jack Swallows.
Hooray! The duo devises a plan and manage to escape the prison. Double hooray! Just as Edward and Jack Swallows are about to save humanity, the Queen emerges and, as it turns out, Jack wasn't really ever on our side. The evil white bitch paid him to get information out of Edward. Traitor.
You're a goddamn traitor, sir.
The Queen stabs Jack, and while Edward attempts to steal her weapon, he accidentally drops it into the ocean, assuring their impending doom.
Well, that's just great.
Finally, the other siblings arrive at camp, where they meet Aslo, a part lion, part human ruler. He tells the trio he is very much willing to help them retrieve Edward, but will only do so in exchange of something indecent.
I don't like where this is going.
I'm sure you can guess what it is. And yes, Peter, Susan and Lucy were involved. After Aslo's indecent proposal, Narnia's rightful king follows with his end of the deal and the group sets off to rescue Edward from the Queen's claws. However, in order to finally save Edward, Aslo first has to fight albino Kevin Hart, who is a surprisingly tough boss stage to conquer. Thankfully, Aslo manages to defeat him as the group rescues Edward and escapes. Except for Aslo. Unfortunately, as soon as the fight was over, the Queen emerges and imprisons the part lion. Boo!
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not gonna take this anymore!
The siblings return to camp and encounter discouraged soldiers, who are saddened over Aslo's imprisonment. There, we meet the beaver from earlier, and he makes it known that their last hope, Aslo, has died.
Hey man, that's not cool.
He also informs the group that the Queen's attack still stands. However, the X-Men make an appearance in Narnia and are prepared to fight the evil white bitch.
I see this as an absolute win.
Now, packing a motivated army, they decide to party and celebrate what might very well be their last night. As expected, the celebration ends up being a mess, and no one shows up to battle the following day.
That is so uninspired!
No one except the siblings, of course. With nothing else to do, the four decide to battle the Queen and her army themselves. As they head into combat, Jack Swallows shows up, seeking revenge on the white bitch for his unfair treatment. The motivational moment doesn't last too long though, as the Queen threw an octopus, where did that come from, and blinds Jack, leaving the siblings alone again.
Oh no, not again.
Our heroes miserably fail at combat and all of the siblings die. Except for Peter, who has a secret weapon under his sleeve, Adam Sandler's click remote controller. He stops time, heals his siblings' injuries, and along with his brothers and sisters, fight the Queen and her army. They manage to take down the entire army, but the evil White Queen's weapon is somewhere out there in the ocean and bound to explode at any second. Peter uses the remote and deletes the plot of the movie, saving humanity as he does so.
We won.
Peter decides not to kill the Queen as she deserves the right to be judged in a fair trial. And oops, Jack Swallows just killed her. Okay.
I don't care!
There goes her trial, I guess. We finally get the happy ending we deserve. The siblings become the rulers of Good Narnia. Mr. Tumnus is alive and everyone is happy. Hooray! After several years of ruling, the siblings find the wardrobe that led them to Narnia in the first place. For a split second, they return to their original lives, until Jack Swallows accidentally kills them.
I don't care!
Happy ending? Yeah, right. And that's all for today. Tell me, which movie should I do next? If you like this video, make sure to leave an epic like, subscribe, and share it with your friends. Until next time with another comedy movie summary.